What's good, listeners? You made it to the safe space once again. I'm your host, Forchunit, aka Uncle Ock, bringing you episode 5 of the safe space, where our slogan is "Don't judge me, just explain it better." I mean, for real. Thanks for rocking with us so far. We really appreciate it. If you like what we're doing, follow the podcast network at 52s and Smoke on Instagram to keep up with all our shows and content. Had to let you know we had some audio issues on this episode, but I'm still releasing the episode because I think it was just that entertaining. All audio issues have been corrected for future episodes to come. But now let's jump into the conversation.
Something a little more light. I don't even think it's light. It's actually, this ain't light. No, fuck that. This ain't light because I don't agree with you. I don't know how you feel
I
about
think
it,
we should
but I don't agree with you.
because it started with a humorous thing about hipsters, right?
Right.
Or I can just give
Let's
a synopsis.
Let's get a little synopsis of what we're talking about. But
so I was on Facebook, and I was in the never-ending hell of videos I just went through. But it works for me. It knows me really well.
Right.
And there's this video called "Every Hipster in Portland." So it just goes over funny stereotypes about people in Portland and how they act. So, for example, like they're talking about being all environmentally conscious, and one guy cleans his mouth with a leaf, and it's really funny things that most people would find funny. And there's people that are like riding their bike and they're clapping for them, being like, "Oh, you're not using car with gas. You're being again environmentally conscious." And then and they don't go to Starbucks because it's too mainstream. But I was reading the comments like I do, and of course I never end up having a good mood after I read people's comments.
The comments is the worst place in the world.
Yeah. So I just wanted to see what people thought about it. So I screenshotted one and I'm going to read it. So I will read what the person put, and then I'm going to also read the response. So what this guy said, let me kind of give you a backstory. So I kind of looked at his profile. So he's just maybe a dude in his 40s, and he has he had guns on his page, and then he looked like he was maybe in the military. He had pictures of that stuff and banners. So this is what he said. He said, "This isn't funny. There's an entire generation of men," and then he said in parentheses, using the term loosely, "that can't change a tire or cut a rafter, start a fire, close a wire gate, sharpen pocket knife, open the hood of a stranded vehicle for someone. This is real. It's sad." And then I really like the response. So this is what somebody said. "What about the entire generation of older men who can't turn on a computer, let alone fix and service or build their own computer? They can't figure out spreadsheets, type more than 20 words a minute. They can't cook, clean, shower, and dress properly without a woman doing it for them, but at least they could change a flat." And then I was like, that's funny. And then there's one more comment that I want to read. And this is from kind of a contrasting view. This is actually from a girl that looked like she was maybe around our age.
Right.
And she said this, "I'm so glad I have a man for a husband, and he is raising our boys to be men. I don't know how women are attracted to men like this. I would rather have a man who can use tools and protect his family than know how to use a computer. Nothing sexier than a hardworking man in his working days. I will gladly cook and clean in my warm house he provided for me." So the reason that I was that's not how I feel is because, in my opinion, being a man is so broad because all four of us are our own type of being a man.
Right.
And what I guess disappoints me is this whole I have guns, I eat 10 pounds of meat a day, and you can't take my guns away from me. I'm a man. And then just the whole macho stereotype that if you, for example, me, one thing that's kind of funny, I've never mowed the lawn.
What?
I know. Wait.
Say that one more time to the microphone.
What? I know. No, I was thinking about saying that. I was like, fuck it, I'll say it.
Yeah.
But again, and if I had to mow the lawn, the person that I'm with, my fiance, she'd be like, "That's fine." If she knows how to mow the lawn, that's cool. It's not like I'm lesser of a man. Or if we both don't know, we can just figure it out. I never changed a tire because I've never had to. But again, if I had to, I'd figure it out. But it's just because I don't, chop wood and all that stuff doesn't mean I'm less of a man, because I don't think those things define being a man. Granted, yeah, there are things that's helpful to know, but it's just because you don't know things that are like that? Does that make you less of a man? As long as you can like provide for your family, you know, if you have a family or things like that.
I'm not. You go. You,
What do you mean? Like, we were trying.
What do you think? What do you think? Because
I want to hear what you guys have to say about it because again, it's just
I'm in a gray
it's such
area.
a broad thing to say.
It
like,
is. I'm in a gray. I'm in a gray area
like,
about it.
If you were sad and say you got emotional, you're crying about something, and I'm like, dude, be a man. Don't cry about it. It's like, when does crying be? You're not a man now because you cry. You have feelings. You can't have emotions.
This is a
so
really deep
things.
topic. I'm gonna tell you why. This is a deep topic. Do you know that there are the alpha male, beta male thing?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What is that?
There's alpha men.
The alpha, the red, the leader,
the pack leader.
Like,
versus the
kick ass and ask questions.
Yeah. So I don't think that's real. I don't think it's a real thing. But I know I got friends who 1,000% believe in it. Yeah, 1,000% is like, yeah, no, I'm an alpha male, and because I'm an alpha male, that's what happened. Like, you know what I'm saying? The beat on your chest type of dude, which honestly, at times I can be that way, but then there's times when I'm not. So that's why I don't believe in it, because I have attributes, I think, of both, air quotations. If those things were real, I have attributes of both.
Yeah, that's cool.
You know what I mean?
That's why Pokemon have 2 types.
Yeah.
Is it evolved type?
So when it comes to this is why I feel like I'm in the gray area, because there are certain things that, damn it, does anybody else want to give their opinion? Because I swear,
I want to hear what you think.
First of all, how the hell how do you get to 20, however old you are, without mowing the lawn?
That is a good question.
That's very surprising to me. It's not the manly thing.
You lived in an apartment.
I grew up in
a city. In an apartment.
No.
In a project. No grass. Where did you grow up?
A privileged suburban community.
Ah, okay.
Someone else cut the grass. Do you have siblings?
Yeah.
She didn't cut the grass.
Actually, my mom did.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
My dad had a lot of back surgeries, so he.
Your mom didn't tell you to cut the grass?
Well.
She did, and he was like, "Fuck no, mom."
Damn it!
No.
I
mean, it's interesting.
I mean,
no, you're good.
No, how to change a tire.
Yeah. No, that's okay. No, it's one of those things. Like, this is honest. I could easily do it. It's not hard. It's just she's just not a good teacher. Oh, jeez.
You're talking about your mom?
Sorry, Mom.
No. It's not that. It's like she tried to teach my sister to drive, and I thought my sister was gonna give up life. So my dad taught her to drive. But anyway, that's besides the point.
Just apologize to your mom real quick.
Sorry, Mom.
There you go.
Sorry, Miss Mezzy.
Thanks for all the spaghetti that you made me in but I could have easily done it. It's just she's also the kind of like get out of the kitchen kind of person. So she probably would have just got pissed off at me.
Yeah.
We had huge backyards growing up. It was like over an acre. So it's like if I F that up, she'd be like, I could just do it myself.
You know what? I just was in the same situation. My mother-in-law lived with me for 2 years. 2 years. And because she took care of the garden, it's what she liked to do. It was her, her safe space. She loved to go out there and work in the garden. That's cool. But before she came, I was trying to get my boys to cut the grass because, men, you need to be able to cut grass so you can take care of your home. That's what I thought. You know what I mean? Which I still believe. But she would come, and if I don't cut the grass, like Wednesday afternoon, and I say I'm going to cut it on Saturday morning because that's when I'm free. That's when I feel like I'm going to cut the goddamn grass. That's when I want to cut the grass. She's cutting it Tuesday night. So it's like, I was going to, you know what? Okay.
Did you give a shit about it, though?
No, she enjoyed doing it. And it wasn't, for a minute, I was like, well, shit, cool. You like cutting grass. But you know what happened? It turned into, I'm not having the opportunity to teach my boys what I want to teach them. So, damn, I can't believe I'm saying this on the air. But this is like a real thing that happened in my house where I felt a kind of way about my mother-in-law doing this and kind of robbing me of the opportunity to teach something that I felt like I wanted to teach my boys.
Such a good dad.
You know, and after she left, it was cool. I still had that opportunity, and now at least one of them know how to cut the grass. The other one, I don't know. But it's like it's something I felt like I had to give them. But is that a man thing? Because it is a man thing.
Yeah. So for
I
me,
got another thing to blow your mind after he's done.
Oh God. So
well, since I put myself on the bus already, I might as well.
Yeah,
I mean,
you know,
you know.
just roll the dice.
I think the thing, like, for me, it all boils down to work. It doesn't matter what you do, but it's working. And
Teaching
providing.
hard work, right?
Exactly. So, to what the guy's comment, like, I can do everything he listed off, but by no means do I go around beating my chest like an alpha male. If anything, I'm a proud beta bitch, you know?
Right.
Fucking-
Gotcha. Are you an alpha male? Do you agree? Do you think there's certain things that you do because men do it? You know what? If I know you enough, Dumpling, I think you have some things that you feel that way. But I don't know. Go, you tell me.
No, I mean I'm a little bit of a mix, you know.
Okay.
But like I don't really know how to explain. I know everything. I do everything, and if I can't do it, I learn it. And I just do it. I mean, it doesn't make you less of a man just because you don't know how to do something.
Okay. I
mean, that's-
agree
isn't
with
that.
that.
Life though, that's like you're going through life to learn things, how to do things.
No.
You don't
So-
have like.
If you give up, does that make you less of a man?
Yeah, if you give up and quit, yeah, you're a fucking bitch for that.
Well, see, I learned something different than that. Later in life, of course. At first, I thought the same thing. Like, don't be a bitch. Don't quit. Don't be a
I
quitter.
mean, at least try. I mean, if you don't try, then you're a bitch.
Mhm.
That's what I think. As long as you try and you know attempt to do it, okay.
True. Here's my thing. Okay, this is my I can't even say concrete stand on it because I don't even know. I'm just in a gray area about everything. I feel like there aren't certain things that you have to do in order to be considered. Retract that. There are things that if you don't know how to do them, does not make you less of a man. At the same token, there are things as a man that you should know how to do. Does that make sense?
Yeah, where are they?
Yeah, like where are they?
Do
You know
it.
what I mean?
I don't know.
Tell us, enlighten me.
Changing a tire.
Oh, thanks.
Being able to walk down a road?
I don't know. I mean, what? Okay, because you get down to the same where it's like your definition of a man is being able to provide, right? Being able to provide.
It's more than that.
See, but that's I think that's on everybody's list.
Yeah.
Everybody.
I think that's the most important thing is to be able to provide.
Right.
It's like something
Can I say one thing?
Yeah.
So, just to go back to me being when I was younger. So, okay, again, ready for this one?
Yeah.
Before I moved out of my house, I never did the laundry, and I never had to like change my sheets or anything. It was always done for me.
See,
Let me finish.
By who?
My mom.
Okay.
Let me finish. But she was a stay-at-home mom,
Mm.
and you know, she did that, and that's fine. I'm glad she did.
Right.
You know, she did it for everybody. 'Cause my dad traveled a lot. He would go to like Europe, California, all over the place. So just by what she did naturally, she just did it for me as well. So when I moved out, I pretty much learned how to do everything. So like, you know, now I'm like crazy about cleaning and making sure everything's done. And my mom actually said to me like last week, she's like, "If I knew you were so good at all this, I would just have you do it." And I was
Right.
like, "Well, I
A while
don't
ago.
know." No,
Yeah.
but it's just kind of again to like adapting, learning how to do it. I learned how to do everything that I could have done before, but
Right.
I never had to. So now I learned to provide and clean and cook and build furniture, fix cars, do everything.
Right.
Just
But if you never learned those things, you wouldn't feel less of a man.
Well, it depends if you're in a relationship or not. If I was
Yeah.
if I was single, I would have had no reason for anybody to judge me or care.
Right.
Not saying I'm only
Yeah,
doing it because I've been in a relationship for
Because
6
you
years.
No, I feel you.
But
Yeah.
it definitely helped me mature and grow up.
Mhm.
You know, so and especially not to put in too much detail, but my fiance, when she moved out of her parents' house when she was 17, and she left and she actually moved to Georgia, she had to do everything on her own. So she actually was kind of like helpful. Like she used to have to take cold showers and all this crazy stuff. So I had to understand her side and be like,
yeah.
my privileged side where I would go home and my bed was
That's
perfect.
the
My
best
bed
part.
was
You check your own
perfectly
privilege.
clean.
Right. Yeah.
My other, I had
Again,
two bedrooms.
What?
Don't
No,
worry.
he told us about that already.
I never heard that.
When his sister moved out.
Yeah, I had 2 rooms.
Okay. All right.
We have very different.
That is
We-
right. Okay, so, bro, you know what? It's just screaming in the back of my head. If you don't know how to do, it's certain shit that you have to do. This is. I guess this is alpha male side of me.
No, just
All
do
right.
it.
Yeah, so
Alpha
what
male.
is it?
Alpha male sounds like Hulk Hogan.
Well, he
but,
brought
you know what I'm saying? But like certain shit that you have to be able to do, like, and only like you said, when you get in a relationship is when you start to separate what's okay to not be able to do and what's not okay, because having the female by your side kind of measures up your manliness. You know what I'm saying? How manly are you? And those things, based on who your female is, she's going to let you know what being a man is. You know what I mean? Because you can have a woman who don't care that you didn't cut the grass, but do you have a woman who cares that you're able to beat up a guy if he talks to you? You know what I'm saying? Like those type of manly traits, based on the woman you're with, is going to tell you if you measure up to being a man. And you're going to start saying, okay, I have to have this in my repertoire because my lady won't accept anything less because that's what she thinks a man is. I have to be able to do that.
And there's nothing wrong with that. If everybody's cool with that.
But that's encompassing in being able to provide. So what happens is people, before they get in a relationship, who's told these things from their parents, because that's where it started for me. My mom, I need to be able to do this, this, and this. As a man, you should be able. As a man, you gotta. As a man, everything as a man. No, I didn't wash my clothes either or cook dinner. You know why? I had 3 sisters. They washed dishes. They cooked dinner. They did laundry. Not me.
So
that's fucked up, but that's why I didn't know about it.
Okay, after my parents got divorced and moved into a single working mom, all that, I was in like 1st grade, whatever. She marched me, my brother, and sister into the laundry room, showed us all how to do our own laundry. Did my laundry. I was 9. That's it. Did my laundry since I was 9. No, laundry.
When that happened, I was still playing video games in my room. I didn't have to go to that meeting. I was not a part of that meeting at all. I didn't have to be there. Okay. Now, as I grew up, now my lady, does she care that I can beat somebody up? Yes. But she also cares that I'm able to help with the dishes, do dishes, clean, cook, and stuff like that, because that matters as well, being a productive member of the house, being able to provide. You're not only providing security, you're not only providing a place to stay, you're also providing help and support. You're also providing peace of mind and things of that nature. And that starts to incorporate those things that people would consider beta, as well as the things that are considered alpha. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I feel like I'm in a gray area. I'm in the middle because I understand both. Because I was raised thinking I had to be alpha, and based on my relationships and things that happen, just understanding society, I had to adapt that. Me being a level-headed person, I feel like I'm level-headed. Those beta things that matter, you know what I mean? Those things matter just as much as the others. You feel me? So that's where I wound up.
I feel the same way because like when I was growing up, my parents, like my dad, basically he taught me like, the woman in the house really only does cook, clean, and take care of the kids.
Boy,
everything else. That's how I was. Yeah. And then relationships come in, and it's like, she can do some of the stuff that
right.
You think you're supposed to do good.
True. But then, how do you feel deep down inside? That's the question.
Well, like I said, it depends on what it is, bro. If like cutting the grass, I feel like a guy should do that. I mean, like you want your girl out there in the sun.
That's just an enjoyable thing to do.
See,
man.
now that's the thing. I agree.
I don't know. I know, but I like mowing the grass too. But like, I hope my sister or brother-in-law doesn't hear this. But my brother-in-law, like, he makes money. That's cool. Like, he doesn't cut the grass. My sister literally has to go outside and cut the grass.
See? And that's
the pushers.
You feel like a man should be doing that, right?
Yeah, I feel like you guys should be doing that. Like,
you don't.
I'm not trying to say.
I never said that.
Well, I'm not trying to say women shouldn't.
He pointed at me.
Women shouldn't have to do it. But I'm just saying, like, guys have their responsibilities. It all comes down to responsibilities.
Okay. Let me tack on something there. The men or women should do it. I think I answered my own question here by saying it depends on the relationship.
It does.
In relationships, one thing I've learned is you have to meet 50-50. Not halfway. It's not going to work out. It's going to end because you have to meet down the middle. So.
On what, though?
Literally everything.
I don't think so.
That's how I feel.
I disagree.
Okay. Well, anyway, mowing the lawn, like, if, one day you mow it and then like a couple months later, whatever, she mows it, I think that's fine, as long as they're okay with that and they're meeting 50-50. Yeah. But if another relationship, my neighbor is like, only the man's going to do it, and they're both okay with it, he's like, yeah, I understand. Yeah. I'll do it. You do whatever you need to do. I'll do that. That's okay. So the whole, like, again, being a man is subjective depending on what you're doing.
I can see that. But the reason I don't agree is for that very reason, because like you said, if they agree on this is what a man does, that's not 50-50. I'm 100% responsible for the grass. Period. We're not 50-50. This relationship is not 50-50, or we would have weeks that we do the grass on. It's not 50-50. If you enjoy doing laundry or whatever, and you like folding clothes and making stuff organized, and that's what you do, and you don't need me to do that, you don't want me to do that because you feel like I mess it up, then this is not 50-50. You take all the laundry in the house. We're not in a 50-50 relationship.
But
if it was
if-
50-50,
if-
we would both help.
Well,
We would both
I-
do it.
I-
If
together.
she asks
I-
for help, though, you will help her, right?
Well,
But it's not
when I
50-50.
mean halfway, I still feel like if you do it 100% of the time and you're both okay with it, that's meeting halfway.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. She
Well, that's what I'm
agrees
saying.
But-
But then you start counting chores.
But I get what you're
Okay,
saying. You're-
I do 4 things 100%. You do 2 things 100%. Then we do 3 things 50-50. It's still not 50-50. It's
It
what I'm
is though,
saying.
because you both agree with it.
You both agree with it, but it's not 50-50. There's
Okay, if you take, I don't know, 20 chores and she does 10 and you do 10, that's 50-50.
But that's what I'm saying.
You're both doing it 100% of the time.
Out
And
of-
you're okay with it.
Then that's 50-50. But I'm saying most relationships are not. Out of those 20 chores, I'm going to do 10 of them 100%. She's going to do 8 of them 100%. And 2 of them we're going to do
Why is she always
50-50.
doing this to you?
I don't know. I promise you it's not that way in my household.
You're like, I'm doing 4, she's doing 2.
No,
I got
I'm
20,
sorry.
she's got 8.
I don't want anybody to think that way. I don't do anything. I should do a whole lot more in my house, and I don't. I swear, I don't want my wife to hear this and be like, "You up there lying, telling him you do everything." No, I don't. I don't do anything. I'm lazy. I need to step it up. Okay, sorry, babe. Yeah, that's not what I'm trying to represent. But yeah, I feel you. I just feel like the reality of what 50-50 is hard to realize in a relationship because there's so many different things going on. It's just not 50-50. People normally, like, I think in society, they want people to normally gravitate to what the male and female role is. Now, this is where roles are being, what is the word they've been using lately? Where your role reversals or role stretching the roles of gender,
Okay.
redefining gender roles or whatever.
Maybe, yeah.
You know what I mean? So since that's
gender
happening,
roles, yeah, that's it.
50-50 would be each person, taking care of whatever their gender role is supposed to have. But each gender role, if it's different, the responsibilities are different, and it's just not 50-50. Not that people don't come together and make an understanding of what people need to do to help and be productive in a relationship. I just think equally 50-50 actually never gets realized anywhere. That's in my mind. But I see what you're saying.
No, I see what you're saying, though.
I get everybody's side, yeah.
Man,
Again, it's all subjective.
it is very subjective.
But do you agree, I guess, do you all agree, if you guys don't come to terms in the middle, that it's not ever going to work in terms
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
If you don't talk about it, if you don't know I'm only doing 40
Yeah.
and agree and be okay with me only doing 40%, then we're going to have a problem down the line.
If he or she is doing something and she doesn't want to do it and you never bring it up,
Mm-hmm.
or she never brings it up. The thing is, I hate when people say, like, or just like in relationships or anybody, friends, whatever, like, they get mad at you for not asking a question that you didn't know you were supposed to ask. When they
Right.
could have just said something.
Right. You got to communicate,
So
bro. You got to communicate. You can't be scared.
Like,
Which-
why didn't you ask me about this? I didn't know I was supposed to. You didn't
Read my mind.
Yeah. Everybody knows I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do. I definitely do.
But it's only men.
No, it's not.
No.
It's not.
Only men what? Only men don't know?
I mean, we're kind of clueless sometimes. Come on.
Sometimes, but then sometimes women don't, bruh. Sometimes women do not pay enough attention to their spouse.
It's either they don't pay attention or they just expect more.
They expect more. What do you mean?
They
Like,
expect you to.
expect you to just deal with it and not need anything from them?
Yeah.
See, that's fucked up, bro. That's fucked up. Why I gotta not need nothing? What if I do need something and you don't recognize it?
You're alpha male, man.
I'm not. I'm definitely not. I'm not. I told you,
What's between
I'm a
alpha
gray
and
area.
beta man?
I'm a gray area.
Gray area man?
The world is great. I was gonna call
Actually,
this
there's
podcast
a bunch
great.
more than alpha and beta.
There is?
Oh yeah, there's like, hold on.
I'm a Charlie now. Let's see.
Charlie,
Uh,
you're Charlie.
no,
The deltas. We got deltas out here.
What is
Kappas
the
and-
difference?
male?
Could be. I don't know.
There's definitions for all of them.
Oh.
It's a crazy world, man.
There's a new one they
Relationships are
have
so
called
deep.
a soy boy.
But like for me,
A
though,
soy
if-
boy?
yeah.
What?
But if my girl wanted to cut the grass,
I guess that'd be me.
and, she was like, "It's cool, I'll cut the grass." We're like, I'm not gonna feel like less of a man. If she wants to do it, then I'll let her do it.
I don't feel less of a man, but I
Well,
still
that
don't
was
want
my
him to do
question
it.
is, we've all had a time where we felt like less of a man.
Yeah.
So it's like at that
Yeah,
moment,
actually, when
you
is
know
it
what the
time?
definition of a man is because you just did
Exactly.
Yeah, what when is the time? When is the time that you felt like less of a man?
When I felt less of a man, damn, I don't know. You know what? We bought this fucking table from IKEA. Not the last one, but
It's
like
another
a while back, we bought a desk. It was going in our room, and I was like, I'm gonna put it together. I'm gonna put it together. And my wife would not wait for me. I come home from work and it's already put together. I'm like,
Wow. Nice.
no,
That
not
shit ain't
nice.
easy, dude. I did one like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I know it ain't
No,
easy,
yeah.
and it was
The directions
wobbly.
are weird.
It was wobbly. It was not tight. It was shitty, and it just. I'm sorry, she's gonna hear this. It was okay. I didn't agree with. I mean, she put it together correctly, but I don't think it
Did
was
you
as
tell her it
strong
was
and as
wobbly?
sturdy and as should have been.
Did you
No,
just
I
go
just
right
told her.
now?
I just told her.
You just
I just told her.
it.
That's what happened. I just told her. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It wasn't the dopest. You know what I'm saying? Now she did a bookcase shelf the other day, which I knew she was going to do without me. And I was like, fine, if you're going to do it without me, do it. And it's great. It's amazing. It's immaculate. But this desk she did last time, and I told her to wait for me, and she did it, and she did it anyway. I was like, I mean, it's there. It's a table, but it's not what it should be because you didn't wait for me. I didn't feel less of a man, but I felt like I should have done that. I wanted to do that for you to show you how to do it or make sure you pay attention to the small little details that make something sturdy and can last for a while versus something that's wobbly and is going to be a piece of shit in a year. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I felt less of a man. Nah, I still didn't feel less. I said she was being a pighead. She's pigheaded. It's like, what are you doing?
Wow.
Anyway, I love you guys.
I think for me, like I said, the way I was raised, and alpha and do all this, but like I think over time now, I'm just like everybody or like together is just like equal.
Yeah.
If you want to do that, then you do that. If I do this, then you do this, or whatever. We both can do it, whatever. But like I don't think I feel like a lesser man now. If she can handle her business, she can take care of her own. Then
Okay, so you know what? Are the females defining this shit? Because
that was my part. It's like
that's what it is.
men can't define what
You
being a man
can't.
is.
That's
because
crazy.
No.
But then a woman don't
Is
know
it
what a
really
man
like-
is.
Or
Or
we
what
could
is
get
it?
into
Well,
what about a female defining a female? Like, what is she supposed to be?
I don't know. I have no
Exactly.
idea.
Is this
about
why we
fe-
have 63 genders?
We don't have 63 genders. What is it? What?
Well, according to this awful Google thing I just found, there's 63 of
We
them.
got 63 genders.
Because like I love to
Oh
cook.
my god. It's just
I love
fine.
cooking.
It's fine. Cooking is
That's-
great.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I love doing dishes.
I feel like more
It's
men
weird to
cook
say.
now than ever.
That's just
Yeah.
because you're Asian, dude.
Yeah, you're right.
I know.
But I love doing dishes. I love cooking. I do it every day.
I love doing the dishes.
I hate doing dishes,
It's
bro.
weird to say, but
It is
China.
weird. It's
What's
very
that?
weird.
What's
In
that?
China.
Faction do you get?
People say it's peaceful. You get to be into your own
it's kinda
thoughts.
like
And it's,
meditating.
yeah,
You
yeah, yeah.
just do it.
Wait,
It's like
didn't-
walking.
was
You know,
it-
walking.
Yeah.
Was it you that said you didn't have a dishwasher? You guys hand?
We don't use dishwashers.
Yeah.
We use it as like a drying
It's a
rack.
drying rack.
Bro, that's how we use it. Well,
Yeah.
that's how we used to use it. But back when I was growing up,
You know,
we had dishwashers, but we never used
and
it.
my sister's like, hey, because my sister, she owns her own house now, but she's like, you know how to use dishwashers? Like, oh shit, you're right. I've never used one before. How do you use a dishwasher?
Yeah.
I was like, where do you put the soap and stuff? You know, I was like, you just don't.
I was
you
about
know,
to think
clean
that was a
yourself.
cultural thing, but it's not. It's a.
No, I
Is it a
think-
poverty thing?
Probably because of water.
That's what I'm saying. Because when I was the reason we didn't use our dishwashers because the shitty apartments we lived in
Well,
Yeah, they're horrible.
always had a
I think
fucked
that's-
up
that's
dishwasher.
poverty, because my parents said the same thing too. It wastes water.
Yeah, you're wasting
You might as well
water.
just clean yourself.
Your water bill's going up. Our dishwasher was shitty anyway. We didn't
That's
trust
correct.
it.
Yep.
It may have roaches in
And
it
in
or some
my
shit.
mind, it's just like
So,
I feel better
wash
when
the
I clean it
dishes.
myself because I know it's clean
Yeah.
instead of putting it in the fucking thing and then.
Yeah,
water going
you had to
everywhere.
wash your dishes by hand when you was growing up. It was no dishwasher, even though it was sitting right there. It's like, no, don't fucking
Unless
use
you're
that shit.
mad, you got privileges.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got like 4 dishwashers. One on each
Bro.
level. I'm kidding.
Man, my fucking kids.
Dishwasher in the bathroom.
I don't know what happened. I had them washing the dishes by hand, and then all of a sudden they started using the dishwasher. I was like, who the fuck a kid? Who
told you you
okayed this
could
shit?
use that?
Who okayed this dishwasher
Right?
shit?
No.
And my wife.
I think I'm
they
gonna start
what?
a new. I'm gonna not use dishwasher. I'm gonna do the dry.
No,
rack. You know why?
do
Because
it.
like I live in an apartment. It's terrible, and it's a tiny dishwasher, and I usually have to run it, and then I have to clean it, so I use more water.
Yeah, just use
Yeah,
a
no,
dry
that,
rack.
you wasting water, bro.
I'm gonna see.
You get that water bill down, unless you're paying the same water bill, like a universal water bill for the whole apartment complex.
I mean,
It was
many
just the
dishes
same
do you
everywhere.
use? Like the thing is,
That's
it's
it.
only 2 of y'all, right? How many dishes do you use a day?
Well, I mean, yeah,
If
we
you're cooking,
we cook a
yeah.
lot, but you do too. You have a whole
Yeah.
family, so
I don't know, man. I wouldn't do it. It's easier to wash dishes, especially with only 2 of y'all. I shouldn't have that
Yeah,
many
but
dishes.
yeah. If it
You
gets
don't-
more,
yeah.
that was the problem with the Red Door House. 4 dudes. Well,
I got a lot of dishes.
yeah.
And then you don't want to clean up after a bunch of other people.
Uh-huh.
When it's just you and your girl, you can clean up after. It's your girl. But like 8 people in your house, or 5 people. You're like, I'm not washing everybody, because then people get careless. They just tossing anything in there. Let me get a scoop of this peanut butter. Throw the spoon in. You could have washed that spoon out. You just use it for one scoop. That's it.
I'm guilty of that. Too. I think I did that this morning.
Like different cultures, like, it's weird because like my brother-in-law, he's obviously white, but like he has friends that come over and then eat and stuff. Mm-hmm. But they don't clean their plates off before they put them in the dish, like the sink.
Neither do my kids.
You guys don't like trash.
There's trash in everybody.
Bro.
I'm sorry.
I'm used to doing that. I used to tell, hey, clean off your plate.
You clean off the plate before you put it in the sink?
It makes it easier to wash later, number one.
Right? It's just like,
I'm like that 50-50. Depends on how lazy I'm.
Bro.
It's just me.
And that's the laziest part of me. Like, I'm going to rinse the shit out of that plate and then put it down. I'm not going to wash the motherfucker. But I'm definitely going to rinse it really good and put it down.
You ever clean the plate and then for some stupid reason you put it in the dishwasher even though it's spotless?
Right. Well,
I'm guilty of that.
I see. It's a waste. It's a
Why
waste. My kids do the opposite.
They
don't clean off the plate. They don't clean off the plate and then put the whole plate in the fucking dishwasher with fucking ketchup, chicken bones, and shit. I haven't cleaned out the trap yet. You know why? Because we wasn't using it. We just started using it like the last 3 months. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
I found a paintbrush in my fucking
dishwasher. You don't have any children. Why? It's either you or her. What the fuck?
So honestly, I was like, what is that in the back?
I don't know. All right, too much dishwasher talk. All right, let's get to we got one more thing we want to talk about.
Well, I'm going to talk about machines.
Yeah. Since we're talking about machines and men, I brought this to the table. Well, I didn't bring it to the table. Ethan did, but I made sure that we covered this because I think this is interesting. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, sex robots. Fucking sex robots, man. Okay, let me tell y'all what I think. Technology is gonna fuck us.
Or no, we're gonna fuck.
Yeah, right.
Can it fuck back?
Yeah.
Yeah, it moves by itself.
It sucks. But look, man, this ain't new. I think it was like last year or 2017 when they had the whole thing at the ACS or CES when people brought the sex robots.
Wait, what?
Computer electronics?
Was it CES?
I think it was a porn thing.
Oh yeah.
Porn convention.
I was like, what? You can go.
It might have been a porn convention.
I don't think they would have brought that.
I don't know.
We gotta confirm that.
Yeah.
There was. It might not have been at CES. It might have been somewhere else. But it was a official release. It was videos all over the place of these sex dolls. It was like within the last 2 years.
It is in Vegas.
Yeah.
Probably.
It might have been a porn convention. Either way, they brought them out there.
There's no way.
And it hit the internet, and everybody was like making memes of it, and people gonna start leaving a girl and all that shit for the sex machines. And of course, that didn't happen. I don't know anybody.
No, it wasn't at CES.
But I never got to discuss it, and I feel like there's some things about it. Would you? Okay, first of all, would you have sex with it? Real talk. 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. You live by yourself, own apartment. You go to the bathroom. You come out the bathroom. There's your doll sitting to the left. Are you gonna fuck it?
Probably.
Well, I mean, wait.
If I put the hygiene issues out of my head,
if I already have it there, I'm not gonna just look at it.
Right. It's in your possession.
I spent $7,000 for a reason.
That's another thing. You spent $7 fucking grand on it.
so expensive, man.
I don't know. Okay, so there's dudes out here like, man, I ain't fucking no doll.
You spend $7,000 now. How much money do you think you have to spend on a girl over time?
Wow. Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. But that's what I'm saying. Like people out here, like I wouldn't fuck a doll.
You know why they wouldn't?
What?
Because subconsciously, what are people gonna think?
I mean, you masturbate
Bro,
your hand, right?
but that's the thing.
Why not masturbate with science?
Science does everything better. Science
needs to be a t-shirt.
Science does everything better anyway. So all I'm saying is, people out here lying, talking about they wouldn't fuck this doll. I think they're lying. Everybody's lying. You in the right situation, in the right place, you're gonna fuck the doll.
There's a right place.
Yeah, not in.
I feel like if you have that, you're wrong.
Yeah, not in. There's a lot of wrong places you can fuck this doll. The right place in your apartment or in your home,
Door locked.
Door locked. Wife out of town.
Oh,
You better hide.
I'm just saying.
Are you saying you got one right now?
No, definitely not. Definitely not. And being that I have a wife, I don't think I would need a doll. I'm talking about single men. I don't see any reason not to do it. None, besides the price. Besides the price, if I was single, I would do it. When you're single, you buy porn. Well, nobody buys it now because it's free.
Internet, bro. Yeah.
Nobody buys it now; it's free. But when it wasn't free, did you buy some?
Well,
Did you happen upon some? Did you visit a sex shop and bring home a DVD? I have when I was single.
well, you're like 100.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Oh, I'm just saying, but
I've always
for
had the
real.
internet, so you know.
But then again,
AOL.
I never went into one of those sex shops and bought like the butt,
Oh no,
because they got butts in there.
no, not one.
I never
I
touched
indeed have. It's
Bro.
hilarious.
Dude.
He said,
How was it?
I never used one, but man, I'll tell you.
It,
So
Tell me.
it felt nice.
realistic.
It felt nice. Listen, I don't know. I'm just
Did you
saying.
feel like a bag of sand?
The question is, do you feel like okay?
I got the reference. It was great.
So I think every dude would fuck the doll. I don't think every dude
Would admit it.
would admit it or
Everyone
need
do
to.
it.
I think there are people that can pass on it. I understand people
Yeah,
passing
of
on it
course.
because, like I said, like I didn't when I was single and I would buy a fucking porn DVD. I didn't buy the ass when I could have and went home and fucked the ass, but I didn't want to.
If you're the type of guy to be call up a girl and get asked, all right, you don't need this.
But I was that kind of guy, but I still masturbated. So
You didn't enjoy it.
I didn't need to invest so much in my masturbation activities. I guess
It is an investment.
it was
But
only
there's
for
some people out there that feel like they can't get a girl or whatever it is.
those are the guys. That's the question. Like, does this really like separate? I don't want to say nerds, neckbeards, not even nerds, just weird
Or just
people.
dudes
Is
who
this
can't- yeah.
only for weird people?
No,
Are you trying to say like, does the CEO of like a major company use that?
Like
Like,
Target.
is
Yeah,
there
fuck
a
no.
reason to use it?
I would
No.
say those guys are the most likely to have them. They're rich and kind of,
But I don't think they would.
Well, they're all,
But then again, who's gonna like be like, hey,
I don't
You see
know.
my
the
porn
CEO of
collection?
this guy's
Yeah.
doing
Yeah, go. I don't know, man. If you got that much money, I think you can get something better than a robot.
You can get a
Sure.
real-
Because
you
we
can get a
do
real bot.
believe
exactly.
you can get a real bot. Yeah, a real
That
bot.
should be a thing.
A woman who
Trademark right now.
it is a real thing. They're called prostitutes. They're real bots. Okay, you pay them and they do exactly what you tell them to do.
Exactly.
No ifs, ands, or buts about it. No questions.
No butts.
Well, plenty of buts.
But then there's things you gotta worry about. You gotta wear protection.
Yeah,
you
STD
know,
free.
this is,
I don't know. I don't know.
Abortion, baby.
Is that like on the bottles when it has
Do
what's
prostitutes
the
get pregnant?
B thing BP whatever free? It's like STD free.
Oh,
I'm like
yeah,
it's not like a tag on the sex
Yeah.
doll.
Do prostitutes get pregnant?
Yeah,
I mean, they probably do, but then they do.
That would be
the thing.
bad for business.
That'd be
Like,
well, I mean, there are kinks.
well, yeah, but man, I don't know. I never thought about that. Like, your whole life, your job, your business is to be able to have a functional vagina. When-
We are talking about prostitutes, okay?
yeah, prostitutes, right? So that's your business. I don't think having a baby in there is conducive to making money.
That's why they sterilized Black Widow in the Avengers.
Hey, that's true. Do,
It is,
do
yeah.
prostitutes do that? Like when you make a choice to become a prostitute
Yeah.
or even a porn star, like you know what I'm saying?
I think no. I think Forchunit still
No,
get
they-
pregnant. They still
yeah,
get
well,
pregnant,
They're really, like,
There's
No,
cum
but they
everywhere,
always-
and I've never
they're
heard of a
really
break.
adamant about like birth
Yeah.
control.
They
Yeah,
take
okay.
care about this.
They have to get tested like
every week. I
Almost
think.
every
Tested
week
in
or-
birth
There was,
control.
there was like a HIV outbreak in like Europe porn ring or something.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
Europe porn ring.
That's
I don't know. It came up on the
Sounds like a rodeo.
Let me see. Let me think this through. If at a porn ring,
Well,
people are contracting HIV and die from it, did you watch a murder if you saw the video? I'm sorry.
no, it'd only be attempted murder. It's
Attempted
gonna take them a
murder.
while to die.
Anyway, these sex robots, man. I had some ideas about them.
Do tell.
I'm gonna share them with the world.
Oh,
Wow.
Now I remember.
I'm gonna share it with the world. Okay, y'all can take this or leave it. Okay.
Oh,
I think I told you guys about this already.
I just didn't think we were talking about it.
I don't know why.
idea.
I think it's a good idea.
Very good
You know,
idea.
I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it because
No,
I still may
you
do it.
can't-
But
I
you
still
can't
may
bring
do
it
it.
up and
What
not
was the,
talk
what was
about
that
it.
thing I
Tease
said?
it.
Is it?
You don't- you can't tease
Oh,
us.
we're
and
gonna
not
talk
take
about
it all the way.
Okay.
You think I would tease you
Okay.
without taking it all the way?
Okay. All right. Fine. I won't tease. Here it is. Here it is. I'm putting it out there. Anybody who hears this,
This is a safe place.
this is a safe space. Okay.
Plus the internet, so.
Yeah. When the fucking sex robots hit the stage, and I was like, yo, actually, that does look good. I would fuck it. That's what I said to myself. Okay. I would fuck it.
Where were you say that?
I was,
You just lay on the couch?
I was just,
Yeah, I get it.
I don't know. I was like, yeah, I'd fuck it. Okay. I can
You
understand.
sit all until they're watching YouTube videos for 30 minutes.
I would. Okay. I would. Right. But I think most men would. And then that's when it hit me. I don't need to fuck it. I don't want to spend the money to fuck it. I don't have to fuck it because given my situation. But I think there are men who do and would and want to, but they can't afford it.
It's like a sales pitch right now.
They can't afford it. You want to. You want to experience it. You want this free sex and all about you robot to give you the business, right? So I said, the very next thing after said I would fuck it, I was like, other people would fuck it. I could buy it and let other people fuck it.
That sounds so crazy, though.
But it's the best idea.
There's literally.
It's an old
You
idea.
cannot 100% guarantee that's not nasty.
Well, that's
Oh,
what-
no,
that's what-
there's
yeah,
no
that's
way.
what-
Who said it's not nasty? I didn't
But
say it
what's
was
the
nasty.
difference between having sex with a prostitute?
Nasty.
I mean,
Nasty.
Because I
wait,
said nasty
do
too.
you enter?
I don't know what they do. Probably.
Can you do that?
Yeah.
They can do
Yeah.
whatever they want.
They can do whatever they
Or
want.
if
Any-
they're wearing a condom. I think isn't that the rule?
No.
I don't know. I've never.
There was a Vice article about.
Why you
They
gotta
have to wear a condom with
Well, that's like the appropriate.
a prostitute?
It's
Oh,
the
the
nice
prostitute.
thing.
Yeah.
Well,
gentleman way.
you would be dumb. You would be dumb if you don't have a condom with the prostitute. When it comes to the robot, I feel like if I was to
Just charge them
prostitute out,
extra?
if I would charge
Did
you
say
extra.
discharge him extra.
I feel like I could prostitute out this robot, and it doesn't matter if they. It matters if they wear a condom or not. So I would charge them extra if they didn't have a condom on. But
Fucking weird.
it's a
No, that's
it's a
good.
genius
That's
idea,
good.
man.
That is
Like
a
the
genius
robot
idea.
would pay for itself in like 2 months. I promise you, it would pay for itself back.
The hygiene issues.
Yes,
though.
but it has its own cleaning mechanism. All
No,
of
no,
that.
I know.
I think you plug a hose in the mouth and then the water just flashes through the whole. You put a water hose in the mouth and water flushes the whole system
You know,
or some
it's
shit
weird.
like
I'm
that.
just imagining how nasty that area would look.
Bro,
It's gonna be all like
I don't know.
discolored and like.
What if somebody bites it? Would you perform fellatio on a robot?
Fuck no.
Exactly. So I don't think it's gonna be.
I mean,
I
wait,
think it's
are you
gonna be
talking
fucked
about
up.
my robot, or are you talking about robots?
Yeah,
that's been passed
any
around?
robot. Would you perform fellatio on something that could not
Wait.
feel the fellatio? Do you
No.
understand what you're doing?
What,
You
what about
understand?
the,
You
what
can't
if
feel
it,
right?
what if it talks back to you? Like
Is
the
it-
one in the video.
Oh, would you kiss it? It's like, so if the doll was kissed, like, doing the mouth.
That's
moves, like,
interesting.
Make out with me. And,
But you know it doesn't feel it. You know
But
there's
what
no
if-
true pleasure
But the whole- but the
happening,
whole-
and
but
you
the
would
whole-
still partake in
but
this
the whole
action.
point of it, some people would be like, they want the whole experience. So yeah.
What if it had like a toggle switch where you're
For-
like, I'm pleasuring this part, and then it knows.
No. Well,
I
there's
mean,
sensors.
yeah,
I'm
but
pretty sure there's
it's
sensors
still not
in-
real.
But
Dude, but eventually technology's gonna get so real to where you can do that, where you're like, say you're like fingering the doll.
And
then
the
you
doll
start
feels
feeling-
it.
And then, no, it doesn't feel it, but it starts getting wet. Right?
It's probably coming. It's probably.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
no,
what I'm
no,
saying.
no pun intended. It's probably coming down the
That's
line.
what I'm trying to say.
You're right.
Like, eventually, that's gonna happen. Then you're obviously gonna do it.
I don't know, man.
Well, I'm not saying you would.
I don't
I'm just
know.
saying somebody would actually do
So
it. Right?
I think somebody would. I think they'd
Yeah.
be crazy to do it. But I mean, think about it. If you got a robot that's only made for your pleasure, why would you partake in any action that is supposed to be pleasurable to them? That's all I'm saying.
oh, God, I like that.
Yeah, guy likes eating a girl. And
That's pleasurable to you. Why is that
Actually,
pleasurable?
I'm not.
Why is it?
I don't think- I think
Why?
you should, like-
No. Let's talk about it. It's a safe space. Okay, no one can judge you. This is a safe
Don't be
space.
embarrassed now.
My question,
Yeah.
what I'm saying is, why would you do something? The only reason people enjoy doing fellatio on the other person is because of what they're making that person happy
Yeah,
and feel
I
a
think-
certain way.
They're
When
being-
I'm glad
Right.
you
when
said that
she's
because
happy,
I can see like I'm sorry. I'm glad you said that because I can see so many women being like, well, we do that to them all the time, and there's never like a.
It's not pleasurable for them. If they are getting pleasure out of it, the only pleasure they're getting, I believe, is by making us happy. Now, what was that show? Is it Angela Yee's Lip Service? Girls was talking about they enjoy sucking dick. You remember that?
Oh,
But
yeah,
yeah,
the
yeah,
podcast or whatever.
Angela Yee and
Oh,
Steffi
yeah, that shit
Santiago.
nasty, dude.
Right.
Oh, wow.
So I may be wrong. Maybe we need to get a female. Is there actual physical arousal from sucking dick? Well, yeah, there is.
Yeah.
There is.
And I think it's the same way as eating a girl up.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. But is that pleasure? Arousal and pleasure, are they the same thing?
I don't know.
They're both dopamine releases in your brain.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
I'm saying, is that pleasure? I don't think it's exactly the same. I don't think becoming aroused or something making you aroused is the same thing as pleasure, being pleasured. I think those are two different things in the same family area, but different things.
They go hand in hand.
They do, but different hands. That's all I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's why I keep coming back to: would you do something pleasurable to an inanimate object?
I mean,
I just don't want nobody to bite the vagina on the robot, so it don't start looking crazy, so I can get it to the next guy. That's all I'm saying.
If they bite it on a real woman,
I'm just saying
she's not going to be around much.
Dudes are crazy.
Well,
did you imagine getting the back of it, bite mark on it though?
That's what I'm
Like,
saying.
dude, you do?
That's what I don't want to. I don't want to get back damaged goods if this is my business.
Damaged
That's why you
goods.
can pay with the credit card.
Put a hold on it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Damage waiver.
$400.
Each body part has its own cost.
Yeah, it's like a hotel room. Oh, that's bad.
That's my idea, man. But okay, so these sex robots, are they really just for people who can't get laid?
No, it's for
The thing is, we don't know who it's for because personally,
honestly, I would say
none of us have them.
I would say it's for anybody, really.
Yeah.
Just whoever wants to get into
Dude,
that,
people
get into
are
it.
like kinky, man.
Okay, so could you see yourself with one? Let's say you had the money. Let's say you're constantly having $50,000 spare in the bank all the time. It's only $5,000 robot.
Currently now, no, because
Well-
I don't own anything
well,
that I just
Let
You don't have the money though. If you had the money,
why not?
one thing. So, I do know people that have like the fleshlights,
Mhm.
and they're, guy and girl, and they just have one.
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with that.
No,
I think it's the same thing,
No,
just
it
in a
is.
robot human kind of.
it's just like a major. It's like buying a Ferrari or a Lamborghini.
So people who have fleshlights are more likely to get sex robots.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, it's the
Well,
same.
yeah,
It's
you've
the same.
already
It's
busted
the
that
same.
concept.
Yeah.
It's like you
Oh,
actually
you've
have a
broken that
body
down.
and some tits and stuff in front of you, instead of just having this little rubber cylinder.
Is the fleshlight serves as a replacement or a tool with both people? I guess if you're in a relationship,
If you're in a relationship, yeah.
if you're in a relationship, it's a tool.
If
But
you're
if
a
you
really sad guy,
if you're by
yeah.
it's the
You call her Jolene.
yeah. Okay. If
So,
you're
like,
really
get
sick,
into that, how you say like prostitution. So like
it's
you know
illegal.
how, like it's illegal, exactly. But what if there was a robot that was like a little girl?
Yeah,
Oh,
Where does that go?
because that's the other big side.
Like
of
I
this
was
thing
I was
is,
saying
like,
earlier, like
Yeah.
anime, the hentai stuff. They have like little, what is it called?
lolly.
Yeah,
What?
and it's like little young
Yeah,
schoolgirls or whatever you want to call it.
you're just like the resident fucking expert of the dark part of the internet.
Yes.
Apparently.
Yes. That's my word.
So then, if they made a robot one, obviously R. Kelly would have.
Okay.
Maybe Michael. Too,
Okay,
right?
let's break this down. I don't believe if I was to prostitute out a sex robot, it would be illegal. It would be like letting somebody borrow a PlayStation game for $5. This is a lot more interesting. It's a lot more interesting game and a lot more money for you to borrow it, right? Because it's an animate object. It's not a person, so it's not prostitution. So if that's not prostitution, if they did it with a child, fuck.
A child robot, please.
Yeah,
Child robot, yes.
Child robot.
With a child-looking robot. Is that pedophilia? Well, yes. Let me tell you why. You can't watch child porn. That's illegal. And you're not touching a child. You're only touching yourself, probably.
Well,
So then I think it would be illegal to do the child one. Yeah, and it should be, because that bothers me. So,
Well,
yeah,
I don't
it
think
should be.
anybody would go for that.
What are you talking about?
No, I'm saying legally.
Oh, legally to try to say that it's okay to do
Yeah.
that? Nah, and it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. Anybody who would be trying to do that should be destroyed. Like, beat the fuck up. That's fucked up. Like, I feel like I had a good idea, and then you brought the child part into it, and just
Well, I mean, that's
hurt
the
my
real
soul.
conversation.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
that's
you
why they're
gotta
trying
know.
to make laws around it because it's like it's into like sex offense.
Yeah, how
too,
far can you
like
go?
Sex offenders and
How far can you take this?
That's the thing. When something new comes around, humans find a way to fuck it up. They find a way to fuck it up and make it offensive. And it's like, damn, now you got to figure out where the line is. Before it was just this new thing. Cool. But now we got to figure out where the fucking line is, which could probably take away my business. But I'm starting.
You got better business.
I'm just saying, man. I think it's a good business, bro. Listen, Pimp's got a lot of problems with talking back, people wanting to run away, go home, unhappiness. The robot, you have none of those normal pimp problems with a robot,
Exactly,
bro.
Obviously, yeah.
I'm just saying. That's what I would do if I ever come up with the money. Anybody want to donate? I'm starting to GoFundMe on Facebook. We can be partial partners. I'm giving you 10% based on your donation.
I think I would give it a few more years before because right now it's still.
Yeah, it's still in development.
It seems like a very niche market. Like,
Definitely. But you don't need millions and millions of people to buy your
They
product.
sell them on freaking
No,
Amazon.
I'm saying
dude.
I mean, obviously it's getting popular, but I think in a few more years when technology is like more advanced, it's gonna be crazy.
It is.
It's gonna be a thing.
And that's why I
mean,
want to
they
get
have-
in
They
now.
already have like VR porn.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Imagine having. Well, never mind.
No, safe space, bro.
I was gonna say VR porn plus that.
Yeah. What you might not even, you don't need the porn at that
Well,
point.
gets to you're
I don't
almost in
know.
a computer simulation of that point.
What was that?
Well, that's what I'm saying. We're
Virtual-
basically sex robots because we don't know if we're in a computer simulation or not.
Oh,
conspiracy theories.
We'll get into that on our next episode. All right. Final thoughts on the sex robot. Should I start the business or not?
Say put on hold for right now.
I'll see how the GoFundMe goes.
All right. Yeah.
I got 25 on it.
Crowdsource. Gotcha. Do some crowdsource.
I mean,
That's gonna be.
I kind of want to say yes just to see how that works.
I swear to God.
Hey, if it blows up, it blows
I
up.
want to do it, man. I want to do
And
it.
then you're known as that guy.
I will be that guy. I'll be on fucking Vice.
They do a Vice special on you.
Yeah, there's gonna be a Vice special on me. Then when the market,
You bring them up to the crib and you just got like
Bro,
walls and
listen,
walls
okay,
and dolls.
I got this from this developer in the
Walls
South.
of
And then
dolls.
you're like, yo, check this out, check what I can do.
You know what I'm
Just
saying?
switch and it's like that.
I got this one
Is
from
a
this
wall of
developer,
dolls better
You
than
want red
buying
hair,
full
black
wood?
hair, blue hair, any kind of hair.
bro. I want to do it.
Kinda cool.
I really want to do it. I'm telling you, because I would be that guy. And then when the market changed, when they came out with all the new shit, I would already be the guy. So all I do is get the new shit. People still come to me. They don't gotta mess with these new guys on what the fuck they doing. Because people are trying. Anyway, if you heard this podcast, please erase the last 40 minutes. Do not steal my idea. Anyway, nah. All right, man. Yo, that was interesting. Sex robots. But we out of here. Anybody got anything else to say before we get out of here? It was a great episode. We good, man. Glad y'all came through. That's another episode of the Safe Space podcast. This is your place to say all the weird shit you want to say. Try not to be offensive, but who gives a shit?
It's nice to be right?
We just having honest discussions, and don't judge me before you explain it, okay? That's going to be our tagline, because that's the truth of the matter of this podcast. Like, we just want to have conversations and explain things and flesh out our ideas. No pun intended, not related to the sex robot conversation at all. We're going to catch you guys next time on the Safe Space podcast. Please check us out at 52sandsmoke.com on Instagram and Facebook. You can also check us out on YouTube at 52s and Smoke. This is brought to you by 52s and Smoke, of course. We'll also be on Spotify. There are several more shows in the works for you. This podcast network of 52s and Smoke is taking off. Join us for the ride. All right, we're going to holler at y'all. Peace.